Good evening, friends. It is I, Katie Morton.
And Jenn Palmer.
And together we are Divinely Guided. We're both intuitives, energy healers, and spiritual teachers.
And every Thursday night we come on here with you and ask your questions to your spirit guides and see what kind of answers we get.
Very good. So if you've got any for us, any questions that is, you can go ahead and type it into the chat.
Now, we do stream to like 7 different places. So it comes in as it comes in. We promise we're not ignoring you. We usually choose whatever comes in first.
Yeah, no platforms being ignored. I know sometimes it can look like we're not answering questions from a certain page, but rest assured, we are. We have this little chat stream and they just come in as they come in and we answer them as we get them. So Julie Cook Goatsinger is our lucky winner tonight. She's number 1.
Hey, number 1, Julie.
You're number 1. She says, "Hi ladies, would love a message from my spirit guides." Okay.
I'm not sure what this means yet, but I'm just going to say in case Katie's getting anything. I heard enough is enough. I feel like I think things have not quite gone the way you've expected them to, and there's been some stops and starts, and it feels like I think the energies are shifting a bit. And I think what they're trying to say with this, and we'll see what Katie gets, is that it is time to finally kind of feet on the ground and move type of a thing. I feel like this is about a lot of things. I don't think it's about any one particular thing, but I do feel like it involves mission work.
And growth work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm also feeling like between now and springtime, so that's a pretty short window, it's like really to batten down the hatches, hunker down, circle the wagons. Those were the types of things I was hearing to get. Maybe it's planning and growth work. It feels like there's some loose ends growth things that you need to sort of focus on and level up with. So it's getting that stuff done and being prepared and ready for the blooms of springtime when you can harvest some of the fruits of your labors.
Yeah, it feels like there's been some energies, and I think it was supposed to be this way, but there were energies that were just kind of scattered doing different things. And I don't know, I'm not feeling enough focus, I think, with what you're here to do. And I think from what I'm getting and how it feels, it's coming in as, it's time to kind of come in, get centered, feet on the ground, and run.
Yeah, and I just heard the time is right. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you've been off on timing or anything like that. It's just now it is the time.
But I do feel frustration with this, but it feels more like it might be your frustration. I'm not getting it from them, but I'm feeling a frustration of, this isn't what I thought it was going to be like. And now it's time to shift things.
And I just heard, come on, level up. You got this, honey.
And I saw you leading a meditation, and I'm not sure if you do that yet or not. I know you do readings and things, and you're pretty darn good at it. But what I see you actually leading meditations.
She does do
that. Does she do that?
She does retreats and she channels for groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew she channeled for groups. I didn't know she did the meditations, but I saw you leading a meditation. So I'm not sure what that leads to.
I just heard all good things.
Okay. I guess that's it. I don't know. Are you getting anything else?
I just feel like it's just a lot of encouragement coming in, and it's you got this, and go forth, with confidence and yeah, I mean, there's just I feel like there's this, it feels to me like you're on the verge of some sort of soul growth spurt. And maybe you're like feeling around for what it is, or maybe you already know what it is, but I feel like this is like low hanging fruit. It's like you've got this, you're almost there, and then there's going to be some, and I feel like whatever this thing is going to help you level up more in work, in life, just in all the ways. So enjoy. And I think that's it.
Yeah. Like anything else?
All right, Jenny Kate. Hey, Jenny Kate.
Hey.
She was waiting for us. Well, that's so sweet.
Aw.
She said, I hope you're well. I would love to receive business related guidance. I'm a little lost right now. Lots of love.
So I'm feeling really drawn to your solar plexus. I'm hearing the word stuck. Like I think there's some things there that we need to clear out.
Yeah, they just showed, for me, it was Archangel Metatron in front of you, like tinkering with the chakras, and at the solar plexus chakra, it was like
So lovely.
yeah. I won't describe the energies because ain't nobody got to hear that. But yeah, it does feel like there's something.
Good clearing.
Yeah.
And they just showed me you were sitting in front of a computer typing. So I'm assuming that has something to do with your business venture and what you're trying to do with that. I'm not getting anything else about it. Let me see what else comes.
I do feel like there's some way you're supposed to be expressing your soul's mission that you're holding back from. And it feels to me like it's some kind of a healing work that maybe you're supposed to do, or something that's like a little bit woo or spiritual that you're supposed to bring in, but you're holding back because of reputation fear or something. It might even be in like how it might be genuine soul work that you're planning on doing, but it might be how you're presenting it in the marketing, or so there's some way that you're like afraid to really just be out there with it. And I feel like you got to get over whatever that fear is. There's some way you need to be more fully expressed. There's some authenticity that you need to get more comfortable with showing.
And just so you know, that wasn't us grunting.
Yeah, my dog, like she has like a cold or something, and she's like snorting, and she has allergies. She's always got a runny nose.
So when I'm coming back to the computer, there's something that I'm not sure you're being totally authentic with, because I think that some of this has to do with non-mission work and some of it has to do with mission work. And I don't know, I'm feeling like such a big separation between the two. And it's not like you need to drop all non-mission work and only do mission. I'm not getting that. But what they want you to do is not make it quite so separate. I
just heard the mail, you're gonna be okay. So if that freaks you out at all.
Well, I think what we often do is we choose to not be our full expression of ourselves because we're like, well, that group of people wouldn't quite understand what I'm about. So I need to put on this mask and I need to be a certain way. But people on some level know when we're putting on masks. And if you're the true flavor of you, it doesn't mean you need to be all crazy and woo, to everybody you talk to. But being really the authentic you in every way possible, even with the business people, even with the people who don't necessarily know this side of you, because what ends up happening is there's this authenticity that comes through, and either they're going to reject you or they're going to love you, even if they don't love all of this stuff that you're into or whatever your soul mission is or whatever. It doesn't matter. They're aligned with the authentic expression of you and you coming through with the passion of who you are. in that expression really brings forth a magnetism that then launches other things within this sphere of business ventures. It feels like stop hiding who you are, and just be what you are to all involved. And if they don't like you, they don't like you. If they do, fantastic. It doesn't really matter. But when you're suppressing who you are and you're wearing that mask, the passion of what it is you're trying to bring forth is very restricted.
Yeah, watered down.
So, yeah, be you and love it. And so bring more of your flavor, your vibration into all that you're doing.
Yeah, I feel a lot of enthusiasm about that message from your guides, and I feel like that's a good one for everybody. And the analogy they keep giving me about this, and for you, Jenny Kate, and everyone, is think of like if you are like an ice cream shop, and it's like it's Jenny Kate flavored ice cream, and that's what you have to offer. But if you pretend like, no, it's cookie dough. Everybody likes cookie dough. I'm not going to call it Jenny Kate's ice cream shop. I'm going to call it cookie dough. And then it's like, you're like, don't do that, because the thing is people who want to go, because you're Jenny Kate, you are you can't pretend you're cookie dough, because you're not. And if you put on that mask and you pretend you're a different flavor from what you really are, it just doesn't work as a business. You might bring in more people, but it's sort of bland, and it's just not like an authentic transaction. But if you are you, the people who are supposed to love you and enjoy your flavor of ice cream will find you, and they'll show up, and they'll get what they want. I know the analogy falls apart on some level, but I think you know where I'm going with it.
I thought it was great.
Okay. Now, who wants cookie dough ice cream? I do. Or Jenny Kate ice cream. I want Jenny Kate ice cream. Okay. Amy Mooney. Mooney. Okay, I said it. Good evening, ladies. Any messages for me regarding the job offer I received?
Yay.
I was just wondering. So please and thank you. You're welcome. Will do. Feels good to me, but it also feels like a stepping stone. And it just feels very similar to what we said before about it. I don't know if this is the same job that you're talking about that you were going to interview for or not, but it's the same sort of guidance coming through, where it's like either you're going to meet connections here and then jump somewhere else, or you're going to get promoted. But it feels like good opportunity, and take it and see where it leads.
Yeah, and I was getting, while it feels like it's a very good positive thing, there might be little things that maybe aren't quite on par with what you're looking for, or maybe don't quite meet or match your expectations. And to make sure you just say it, so if the money's not quite right, and if you think that they could go for giving you a little bit more at some point, maybe in the beginning, maybe after a little while, ask for more. If you're bored, make sure you ask for more to do. Like, it just kind of feels like there's little pieces where you're going to tweak. And I think this is really good for you in speaking up and going for what you're really looking for with it. And this does feel like it's a good thing. And it does feel like it's moving you forward in a onward and forward, basically, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I just heard negotiate. I will say, when I was doing the corporate thing, I always negotiated, and I usually got more money. I think maybe 9 times out of 10, they'd make an offer. I'd push it back over the table with like, how about a little more? And they'd say, okay. So don't be afraid. I know that's kind of a nerve-wracking thing, because you think you're afraid that they would turn you down and find somebody who's an easier target. But that's not the case. They often expect candidates to negotiate.
And I think that they will, well, I think a lot of times when you're negotiating and you're honoring your value, they start to honor your value more as well. And I'm feeling some tightness in my throat. So I do feel like the idea of speaking up.
Fear around it. It's like a little like, oh God, I don't want to freaking do that.
Yeah. But if you feel like something isn't right, whether it's the money or whatever it is, if something just doesn't quite feel satisfactory, don't be afraid to speak up. The worst they're going to do is say, no, we can't do that. And worst case, hey, you practiced your voice. You practiced saying what you needed. And but
Yeah.
maybe in the future they can, and they'll understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's more, and I'm just trying to have it come in. It's not quite here yet. Well, I think the bigger lesson here is understanding your value and your worth. I think you get it in some levels, but maybe in others you don't, is kind of how it's feeling. And to embrace who you are, be really in gratitude for any opportunity that comes your way. But at the same time, being in gratitude doesn't mean you just accept like scraps. Not that this is a scrap thing, but you always want to be in a space of gratitude, but then also, and what else is possible? Like how else can I grow? What else is possible for the highest good for me in this situation? And just always keep looking for ways to make it even better. I think that's all I'm getting. Are you getting anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
That is it.
Good luck.
All right, good luck. Yeah, keep us posted. Okay. Rachel Rose Farber says, hey, any messages for me tonight? Thanks.
Hey, Rachel.
Hello.
So I just heard mission, mission, mission. I think this has everything to do with mission tonight for you. And someone just came in and said, explore that which you love. I know you're really into singing and music and that very artistic expression. It definitely feels like in this time period where you're not quite able to jump in with both feet, but you have some time to work on bringing forth and growing your mission. You don't just assume that that's off the table for now. Like really allow it to come forward and see how else it can express. I feel like there's some new avenues for you to experience with all of that. And I just heard it could really thrill you. It feels like a very fun and exciting expression of your gifts.
Yeah. And I've gotten this for you before, but I'm hearing songwriting. So I would say consider that. The also thing I was getting is playing around with music, singing, potentially songwriting. Use it to build your confidence. So you might, just on your own, record yourself or sing in the shower, whatever you want to do with it. So you do that. And then you'll find yourself doing the negative self-talk thing. And it's like, da, 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 da. Like learn to really appreciate yourself and see yourself as the beautiful, talented individual you are. And really start working on that self-talk and that self-confidence. And kind of forcefully is probably not the right word, but I'm going to use it because it's like that, like the vigor, the force of developing your self-confidence in a very pointed way. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to sing or write a song or do something that's challenging, something that you haven't really maybe done before, and to really learn to hone your skills. A lot of times, I like the saying that confidence comes from competence. And so sometimes if we're feeling down on ourselves, it's like, well, we're just not doing what we're good at, or we're just having negative self-talk. Maybe we're just fine. Maybe we're great at it, but we just don't fully appreciate our own gifts. Or sometimes it's like we have a vision of how we could do better, but we're just not putting in the practice to level up. So it's like really feeling around for whatever it is for you that you could do to build the self-confidence, and really going for it and putting in the hours. And I think that's it.
I'm not getting anything else.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Jess Mac. She says, "Good
Yay.
evening, beautiful ladies. Any messages for me? Thanks."
So the first thing I see, Jess, is you were standing on a spring, and it sprung you forward, and you were leaping through the air. I think this is something that's about to happen.
Okay, and they just said, "Go ahead and make the connection." It also feels like spring, as in the
Yep, I was
season.
getting that too.
Double
Mhm.
meaning, and I was
Yeah.
also getting the idea of being outside in the spring. I'm not sure what that's about, but they were sort of bringing up the idea of the Maryland Nature Lovers group on Facebook that you post a lot from. Don't know what that means yet, so.
So I saw this image. It was really interesting. And you were outside. You were trying to get a picture of a bird.
Oh my God! Sorry, we
Did
were
you get
getting
that
the
too?
same stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you didn't get what I got.
I wasn't
though.
getting picture of a bird, but it was something about nature photography. About
Okay.
Okay.
So, but you were standing on a stool, and it was kind of like on one leg, and you're trying to balance, and you're like trying to get it up there and take a picture, and you're like all over the place, out of balance. And then it was like it dawned on you, oh, I can get off the stool and I can use a zoom lens. And that does a better job, and it's safer. So I'm not exactly sure how that's applying right now. So we'll see what else we can get. But that's funny that we both were getting that.
Yeah, something about nature, like being out in nature and taking pictures. I feel like there's something literal about this.
Don't stand on a one-legged stool.
No, about nature photography. I mean, like, I do feel like it's going to, even if that's not the end goal or the end game, like maybe that's not your like ultimate jam, it feels like being out in nature, even if it just clears your mind so that the information that's been seeking you can find you, or the people or something. I feel like something's going to hit you outside in a good way.
I do think things are about to really click into place. I know there's been some, not feeling very sure what your purpose is and what you're meant to be doing. And we all go through that pretty much at some point. I do feel like things are about to click into place, and they want you to be patient with it, but to really explore. And it just kind of feels like, when you're not trying so hard, things are more able to come in, and they want you to see that things are coming in. And it's so funny too, because a lot of times it feels more in the back of your mind. I'm sure we talk about this. We're walking around, all of a sudden we realize something's processing in the back, and it's this amazing guidance about something. I feel like it's that kind of a thing. Like if you just step back and you allow things to come forward, it's there. And I think you're about to have some really good hits on what's coming.
Well, I'll tell you what they just called it for me, shower thoughts. So if you're ever in the shower and you're just like, la, 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 and then it's like you have the most amazing guidance. A lot of people do in the shower because water is very conducive. It's cleansing. It cleanses and clears the energy. And so a lot of people get great guidance in the shower. But it's same with nature. And so it does feel like being outside is going to allow that sort of shower thoughts moment of whatever this is to unlock. So
yeah, I think it's good. Let me see if there's anything else. I feel like there's a little something. Someone just said, don't be hard on yourself. I don't know if you've been a little more hard on yourself lately, but just being really gentle through this process is important. The funny thing, I think this is for everybody. I used to struggle. So I used to do pom-poms. Did you know that about me?
She was a pom-pom girl, you guys.
And I loved performing, but I always really did not like having to learn a new routine. It drove me crazy. I like, can't I just know this? And like, just download it and then I can do it and not have to be like practicing over and over and over again. And it felt like so much resistance to the idea of learning. But I think it's because I was so afraid I would not be perfect at it. I wouldn't get it. And in the beginning, when you're learning, you're not perfect at it and you're going to mess up a lot. And it feels like sometimes I think you're a little bit hard on yourself, Jess, but I think this is for more than just you. I think it's for a lot of us, just to relax and into this game that we're all in here playing, this game, whatever it is that resonates with you around that. Enjoy it and unfold it and feel free to laugh at the mistakes you make and the effort and the trying and the beauty of it all and the mess. Like, love the mess and love all the imperfections, and then just keep working it.
Yeah, I just heard, yes, the illusion is fun.
Yes.
Life is this big illusion, we're all here as souls playing these little parts on the stage. It's a good time. It's like fun. It's theater. It doesn't seem like it all the time because we get
Sometimes
identified with the drama. And if you can kind of step back and be the observer of it all, and it's so much easier to enjoy and find things that you appreciate as opposed to things to resist and rail against and be grumpy about. So unbunch the knickers, everybody.
Yes. Okay.
On that note, Sharon McNichol says, "Hi, ladies. Is there a message for me tonight?" Okay, Sharon.
Let's see. So you know that song, I think is it Journey, Don't Stop Believing?
Oh, cool.
So it just started playing.
Are you going to sing it?
No.
Wah, wah.
You want to sing it?
Sad trombone. No, we need music lessons. You sing
We
it.
do. I know. Sorry, guys.
Every week I'm going to nag Jen about music lessons. Just so y'all know. In case you haven't noticed that I've done it already, probably about for 9 weeks now.
Maybe longer.
Actually, yeah, seriously, yeah.
Yeah, so the lyrics are "Don't stop believing, hold on to that feeling."
Street lights, people. Oh, ah! Okay.
I think we lost some viewers.
How are your speakers? Did I blow them out? Okay.
Yeah. So, but what it feels like is your vibration is really important, and they don't want whatever this is about. Don't stop believing in yourself. Don't stop believing in the goodness that is coming. Whatever it is you're working on manifesting in your life. But your vibration is so important, and they want you to understand the value that your thoughts and emotions put into what it is you're trying to accomplish in your life. And, every thought you have can create an emotion, and it can be good or bad, positive or negative, however it is you like to word that. It can bring what you want and it can bring what you don't want. So when you really connect with the vibration and the energy of what it is and feeling good about it and knowing that it's coming, maybe not always in the timing that you wish for, maybe not always in the exact way that you're wishing for it, but if you're manifesting from a high enough space and you're working from a space of, I just want to really enjoy life, I want to be in love with everything, I want to feel good, I want to feel like I'm accomplishing what I'm here to accomplish, whatever it is. And don't get into the nitty gritty of everything and allow the universe to just really knock it out of the ballpark and blow your mind with what can show up. Just get into the higher space. Don't work with the very specifics like, okay, I want this person to give me this job and offer this amount of money or whatever it is. It's think bigger picture, just enjoyment and plenty of money and having the love of your life and being really excited and enjoying what's showing up in front of you. That's where it's at, and to hold that vibration. And then when things don't quite work out the way maybe you thought they would, you can always then know that's because there's something even better just around the corner about ready to show up for you. And that is what's going to get you through. And there is something better. This is not just tell yourself good things, half full or, whatever. The glass is always full. We just see it as half full or half empty, but it is always full. That fullness exists, and we just need to access it. And so yeah, hold on to what it is you really want, not what you think your ego wants. Because quite honestly, the ego, and we all do this, the ego wants what it wants. It wants people to like us. It wants people to think we're amazing, to like the work that we do, or to think we're pretty, or to think, we make good money, we must be doing good things, or we go to church on Sunday, so we must be great people. Whatever it is, those are all egoic concerns. And when you're really trying to manifest from that very soulful space, it's really more about mission. It's about your connection to all that is. And are you here doing what you're meant to be doing? And that's what brings you joy.
So well said. That was like a rampage of enjoyment.
Yeah, right.
Very good. Rampage of appreciation. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. I'll just leave it at, it's our beliefs create our reality, to sum up. So
fabulous.
Yeah. All right, Cynthia. Hey, Cynthia. I hope you're doing well. She says, "Hi, ladies. It's been a while. Any messages for me?" Okay.
So I just heard smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. I think something, I don't know what's going on, but I think there's something, I don't know if it's work related or something else, but it's not quite what it seems. I don't know if something is looking worse than it actually is. That's the feel I get with it.
Okay, so they just brought up a phrase that our guides have said recently. If things feel dire, you need to heal that. So oftentimes in this world, we wind up with these situations that seem just not satisfactory. Let's say that. And a lot of times it is some sort of like an illusion. It's not necessarily bad. It might seem on the physical, we might see like exact evidence of it. Look at that number. That number is not good. It might seem like really hard evidence of something that's not going the right way. However, it is often meant to trigger us to heal something. And just because this is real simple to understand, I'll use the example of a bank balance. It's like, that looks like hard evidence. It's not good. But if you have any sort of negative freak out about that, or that judgment, that assessment about it, it's possible that, yes, it really is happening. If it really feels dire, not something like, oh, well, I just pull the strings, or I manifest the thing, push all the right levers and buttons and pull the pulleys, and then it's fixed. If it feels scary, it needs to get healed. Because some people can see their bank balance dropping and they think, okay, well, there's stuff I can do, no biggie. And some people wake up at night in a cold sweat. So it's really trying to figure out what has to get healed.
Well, what I was getting with this too, whatever this is, holding faith and holding that space for, but somehow it all gets worked out. Whatever it is, and it doesn't feel like massive to me. So I don't know what it feels. I do feel something connected to work. I don't know, but it may not have anything to do with it. I'm not sure. But it just, hold the faith. Hold the faith, hold the faith. I trust that whatever is happening for the highest good, and be very aware of any emotions or thoughts or feelings you have around it, and the way it's trying to work out, and clear it, heal it, work through it, and then get to a much higher space.
Yeah, I feel like it might be something about like work politics or something like that, like work personalities. And I feel like whatever's going on is moving you in the right direction, even if it feels really bad right now.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lesson with this, and I feel like you're doing pretty good with it, though. I think they just want to remind you that not everything is as it seems. Go higher. Don't get into the weeds of the 3D. And I think that's it.
I just heard, we have spoken.
We have spoken.
Okay. Maureen Casey Evans says, any messages for me?
Hello, Maureen.
Yeah. So they just show me a tarot card that is the Ace of Cups, which I believe is about the fulfillment of emotions. Like everything feels like it's coming up roses. And they said soon. Like it feels like that's coming soon for you. And I heard not yet. But I heard, but it is coming.
I'm feeling like something with those roses, like it's being nurtured. Everything is just like the nutrients are coming in. It's starting to grow. Yeah. I was going to say something, but they're like, no, not quite like that. It reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever read Frog and Toad back in the day, and he's like watching, he's like, why isn't it growing? They planted a garden and it wasn't growing like immediately.
And he was shouting at the plants.
Yes. And I think, it's the same kind of thing, we're like, why aren't you growing? But they're saying that's not quite it. That's not quite hitting the nail on the head, but that's the imagery I'm getting. But I think there's more with this.
Okay, so what I saw was Frog or Toad, whichever one was freaking out, digging up the plants and pulling things out by the roots, like, hurry up! So chill.
Yeah, that won't help. Okay, so someone just said power versus force. So
yeah, I was getting the vibration about it.
Force is the difference. Force is, I'm going to make this happen. You're pulling that thing up, looking at the roots and grow, and power, though, that's more what I call like divine power. You're in a higher state of being, a wiser state. You realize that to get something to grow, yelling at it or pulling it up by the roots, that's not going to do it. It literally is more, you need the proper nutrition and water for it to grow and to grow well and to be healthy and beautiful. And it feels like something that you're trying to manifest and bring forth that just, it's taking a long time. But I also want to remind you, like the last few years have been that kind of energy anyway, a very stagnant kind of energy. 2020 started shifting some things and moving things around, but like not many people started seeing a lot of their manifestations with that energy yet. But it is shifting and a lot of things are working underneath. Like in what they're showing me is you are getting a lot of roots, things are growing and it's just about ready to start coming to the surface. Be patient. And be patient with your own process. A lot of times what keeps it from growing fast enough is our own development work. It's less about timing. It's more about achievement in the growth process of whatever this is for you. And we're always learning and growing. We're always meant to be learning and growing. We're not meant to just, get everything handed to us. It's our guides often like to say it's more about the process and much less about the end result than we tend to like to think about.
Yeah, so I feel like whatever this thing is, it does feel like there's, a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And it does feel like the wrong way is via the impatience and the force and the disgruntlement about it versus getting into the manifestation energy of like, well, why do you want the thing? Because I want a certain feeling. What is the feeling? Identify it, and then bring that feeling into your body. And you're like, oh, now I might as well have it, or I don't. Doesn't matter, because I have the feeling that I wanted to get from having the thing. But as you practice that, having the feeling that you think you would get from the thing that you want, you can practice in bringing in the energies of the thing I want and those feelings that I would get. And you just stay in the feeling state of it. It's that vibration that brings the manifestation to you. But so often we switch to like, give me my stuff. And then we keep it away. That's pulling it up by the roots. We keep it away with our thoughts about it and the vibration and the frustration. So yeah, really work in the growth process. This is for everybody, you know, really work in the growth process, and staying in the right vibe is, it's that analogy of like catching, I want to say bees or flies with honey as opposed to the other thing. So anyway, that's all.
All right.
All righty. Cynthia Keehee. Hey, Cynthia. I hope you're
Hi.
doing good. She says, hello, ladies. Hope all is well. What is it that my spirit guides would like me to know? Thanks. I just heard it is not time yet. Things will begin moving quickly, but it's not time yet. And I heard patience, but not for much longer. And I asked, what is this about? I said, is it about moving? And they said, no. It feels to me like you feel stuck in every area of your life. It could be work. Family life. I just heard, let me count the ways. And I heard patience, dear one. And they, you know, does feel like the theme tonight tends to be about manifestation and vibration. It does feel like a lot of the messages that were already given were also for you, about getting into the energy of what you want, and working on getting it via the vibrational way. A lot of times, like for example, let's say we're in a job that we hate, and we don't do any growth work, and we don't do any work on our vibration, and we just say, I hate this job, I'm going to get a different job. Our vibration's the same. We move into a new job. We will often call to us the same types of experiences, bosses, coworkers, et cetera, et cetera. Things don't seem to, like maybe it seems like a little better than the last one, but we often wind up with these repeats. And so they don't want you to see you do that. So it's like, it does feel like there has to be, you've been doing good work, but it feels like a little bit longer. It's like giving you time to sort of get the vibrational ducks in a row so that you can manifest something that would feel much better, as opposed to a parallel or barely better shift. And also getting more clear on like, what is it that you really want? And don't be afraid to go for what you really desire. It does feel like to think bigger, think better. It feels like if you get what it is you think you want right now, you won't be satisfied. It's like they want you to want something better than you're currently wanting. So maybe take some time to brainstorm and to open, like we'd say, take the lid off the box. What that means is, like, we often have this idea of like, well, I have a Pinto, I would like to manifest a Corolla. And it's like, no, you want a Lamborghini, woman. Like, you don't know anybody wants a Corolla. No offense to anyone who has a Corolla.
Or if you wanted one.
Right. Corollas are fine cars. Just an example. Nobody wants a Pinto. They were killing people. They had to take them off the market. So I know you don't want that. But I just feel like the point is, in all areas, like, ratchet it up a notch, take the lid off the box of what's possible. And oftentimes when we get too specific, when we're thinking about manifestations, I like to say, I want this or better. Or you know what? I'm not even going to be specific about what I want. Universe, make it awesome.
Seriously. All right. So I'm also getting, I do feel like they want you to speak. They want you to speak more and to say what you need to say. But there's an art to saying things with love and compassion and an open heart. And it feels like there's some tough things that you hold back on that you just don't want to say because I don't want to cause waves. I don't want to get in trouble, or I don't, whatever. And no, they really want you to stick up for yourself where it's needed to stick up, but from a very loving, compassionate space, not from a defensive space. And there's an art to that. And they want you practicing this art and understand that it's not going to be perfect at first. And it's going to feel awful sometimes when you're speaking what you need to speak. But if you're coming from the right open heart and you're coming from a mindset of not being victim in that situation, but just trying to straighten things out or make it more fair or whatever it is, don't come from victim and come from a place of love, and what you need to say will come out in a much, much better way. And the people who you're saying it to will be a lot more receptive. And sometimes we need to say tough things, and there is an art to this. So practice it. They want you to practice a lot. So practice with somebody that you love and will love you back.
No matter what.
No matter what. I'm looking at Katie because, we say we're growth partners because, we both are working our
soul growth crap
yes
with each other. And so sometimes it's not pretty. And yeah, it's like whatever, it has to happen. I was seeing an image of you though, Cynthia, as like when a fire hose goes off and it's like, like out of control. So man your fire hose, I guess. I don't know what that's about. Or maybe just let her rip. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see if I can figure out why. What was that? Okay, so what I heard was it's the fear of like opening the floodgates and losing emotional control. Because oftentimes when we are afraid to speak up, it's because we're afraid we're gonna like freak out, or it'll come out wrong, or we'll lose control, or they'll talk back, and then the whole thing goes ah. So it does feel like do the processing and the consciousness work to get to a place where you feel good about it and not overly emotional about it. So sometimes it's about taking baby steps with like, well, how far will we go with the communication? Or, I used to do negotiating in business. And one of the secrets of negotiation is to know that whoever is like, they're really just not afraid to walk away from the deal. That's who's going to win the negotiation. If you have too much skin in the game and too much at stake, you can't, like, not that whatever this is, like, I don't want to pit you against a loved one, like, I'm going to win, because it's not how you want to do it. But it's like, if you come to someone like, well, like, oh my God, my heart's on the line and they're going to crush me if I ask them for something and they say no. It's like, okay, well, maybe you need to get like a little bit more emotional security, or you need to heal something so that this doesn't feel like your life and your heart is on the line if you speak it. So it's really getting clarity about how to get the emotional stability that you need. So they're giving me the example of when there was this one job I had, I was so afraid to speak up because I knew like this boss was a bit of a nut job, and there was the risk of if I stood up for my rights, she was just going to can me. And so I never wanted to speak up because it was like I was too afraid to lose my job. So if I were to do that all over again, it would probably be to, I don't know, line up another job, or just convince myself it would be easy enough to get another job if I lose this one. Whatever I had to do to talk myself into the emotional security so that I could say what needed to be said. I think that's it.
All right.
Okay. Well, okay, they're just saying that's it. Okay, Lauren Regal. Is it Thursday? It is. Yahoo! What's the energy around me? What's the energy around me practicing Reiki again? And you both have great hair. Thank you. I'm not sure I understand this question. What's the energy around me?
Should she practice Reiki again is what I'm getting from that. Like, what's up with the idea of practicing Reiki again?
Oh, okay, thanks. Jen, translator. I just heard yes.
I did too,
Yeah.
and it was like a yes. And then I heard and so much more. It's not just Reiki.
Yeah, but I am feeling like start there because it lets the energy flow, and then more opportunities, more ideas will open up. I had ideas for messages that I need to deliver to another Reiki practitioner that came through the other day, and it was like sometimes energy healers they get underwhelmed with Reiki because it seems like it's basic or something, and they sort of undervalue its effectiveness. Reiki is an amazing practice, but the other cool thing about it is the more you practice it, the more you develop your own energy healing style. So that said, Reiki is awesome, but it also opens other doors to new styles and modes and methods and ways of healing. So definitely like just enjoy it and let it flow and be open to the idea of whether it's training on different modalities or developing your own flair and style. And they're just bringing up, I've told this story before, when I was like new-ish to energy healing and I would watch Jenn doing all kinds of like crazy like Swedish chef hand motions on people, and I would just be like, chakra blast. And I felt like inadequate, but the guides were like, no, you're the blaster, you're the Hulk of energy healing, like it's okay. Like you don't need to be the Swedish chef, be the Hulk, you're the Hulk.
Yeah. So I originally, I mean, immediately the first thing I saw was you after I got that message was you in the ocean swimming, and you were just like gliding through the water with so much ease and grace. And then I heard triathlon, but I think it was related to the Reiki and the idea of practicing or working with it again. And I don't know if that means that there's 3 different types of energy healing or like 3 tools in your belt that you might use or what. I'm assuming it could just be, you know, that you'll be doing many different things.
Yeah,
and
I'm hearing crystal healing as well.
Okay, that would make sense. But yeah, and it just feels like dive in and start doing what you do with the Reiki. You're really good at it. You know what you're doing with it. Get back to those roots and then see what blossoms. Like whatever this is, there'll be a lot more for you to learn and understand.
Yeah, and your guys are really excited about it.
And this is your mission. It's a big part of your mission. I also see you doing something where I think you're on video.
I heard sharing wisdom.
And maybe even some sort of like group healing or meditation type of a thing as well. I know I got that group meditation with Julie, but I'm also seeing something with you along those lines.
It makes sense. Look, time of the meditation. The time of the ascension. Meditation really helps everybody in every which way in terms of ascension, and it's really go time with that. So
and healing.
And healing. Gosh. Yeah. So if anyone here is on the fence about Reiki, like maybe do that.
Yeah, dive in.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Think we can do one more?
Sure. So we got Carrie Goulet.
Carrie.
She says, "Hi, ladies. Do my guides have any messages for me today?" So I heard sweet soul, beautiful soul. And then they showed you toning, and then it turned into this like operatic force, and you broke a glass.
Talk about Hulk.
I think that's, I think it is something about that with you appreciating the power of your voice to heal.
But it's everything. It's your presence too. The way that you are with people and the calm nature.
Caring and gentle.
Yeah. But don't think of it as meek. You're very powerful, and you can be kind and loving and gentle and also extremely powerful with your healing at the same time.
Yeah, and I feel like you really like just appreciating that secret, the secret sauce that is you, Carrie, the Carrie Goulet ice cream shop.
Yes, I know, right?
of that your caring, gentle, quiet nature helps people to feel at ease and relaxed and comfortable. And that's important for a healing setting, that people can feel that they can let their guard down and relax, and to not have to put up their guards and fight with their energy healer. But then, Hulk blast them with your voice, apparently.
Using power, not force.
Yes, the power of a positive vibration. Yeah, so I am hearing like, I know you've been working on confidence and things like that. So if you feel like you're trying to like act more extroverted or something like that, like you don't have to. Like it's fine you can have a quiet confidence, basically. Like don't try to change your personality outside of what it is. It's just being confident in, part of it. Yeah, sure. Find your voice in other ways and speak up more if you feel so inspired to do so. And if you feel like you're holding back in that regard and that you have more work to do, yes. But I do feel like this is a sort of a fine tuning of the spirit and your self-perception, and appreciating your quiet nature and not fighting too hard against that. And yet they said also developing the confidence to be fully self-expressed and to be fully authentic and to not hide at the same time.
Am I getting anything else?
It sounds like a lot of balls to juggle. Be quiet, but not too quiet. I think you got it. And I think that's it. So you guys, we went an entire hour without pimping divinelyguided.tv. So head over there, join our soul growth group, come with us to Florida, and we will see you next Thursday for this live.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye. All right. Bye, guys.
It's your turn to end the stream.
I will try it.